Our body's comfortable, nice and relaxed, nice and open here. Just let the breath flow. Huge inhales. Wonderful, peaceful exhales. It's like we're nurturing our body from the inside out just by the act of breathing. And so just keep this deep breath flowing, and we'll take a moment to connect with a simple little intention. This intention is expanding outward. So imagine that if we've played small our whole life, or if we've always kind of hidden inside of a box, or we've always kind of stuck with the frequencies and the emotions that are comfortable, maybe we haven't pushed ourselves to explore the full range of possibilities. And sometimes there's a little pleasant surprise when we start to explore. It opens up whole new possibilities that we didn't even know existed. It's like aerial yoga. We're trying something completely outside of the normal. You can't normally move in these ways. But in trusting your weight into something that's not you, it leads to such a fun and new experience. And so that's the kind of joy attitude that we're bringing inside of us. That'll be what leads us on. And so with that idea to help get us started today, let's begin with some of our nice initial stretches. So arms can go all the way to the back wall. Let the shoulders begin to wiggle right and left. You're choosing the pace that feels extra good. And this is kind of our physical body's first chance to explore expansion. We're stretching the toes as far away from the fingers as possible. Good. So next time we make it back through the center, hug your hands around the right knee. Feel that hip flexor start to stretch. Maybe some ankle rolls if that feels nice. Good. And if you're ready, right leg will start to stretch all the way up to the sky. Let's feel that hamstring get a chance to really expand out. All those fibers as long and expansive as possible. Nice inhale. And exhale, this right foot hooks all the way over to the back left side. Once you've got it hooked, slide the shin in. It's like a pigeon pose, flipped on our backs. Give it a hug, a few good breaths. Maybe one more deep inhale. And exhale, let's free up this leg. Maybe give it a tug up to the sky before we lower it all the way down. Second side when you're ready, hug around left, maybe ankle rolls, or maybe it's about the hip flexor. When your body knows it's time, expand the leg up to the sky. Like exploring the very deepest part of our possibilities. Another good inhale. Exhale, hook this heel all the way to the back right part. Slide the shin in. Breath is flowing for us so nicely. We're doing one more good inhale. Exhale, free out this leg, drop it all the way down. And we'll head into a nice back bend to get ourselves started here. You've got two options. Option one is if you keep the legs inside while you take the back bend. So legs inside, you would sit up and then start to head backwards. Option number two would be if you drop the legs out of the fabric. If you do that option, you could reach your hands for the toes. It's really up to you. Both of them, I like them both for their own reasons. So it's up to you to just kind of explore what feels best, what you'd like to play with. Arms can be gripping, arms can be dangling, arms can be reaching. It's really up to you. Yeah, and like you're already experiencing, the fabric resting on different spots feels very different in the body. So just keep on exploring until you find the perfect spot. Higher up can be beautiful in certain ways. Further down can also be nice. So just keep on playing. This one is an inversion. It's not as an intense of an inversion as some, but it is an inversion. Our head is below our heart. So just like my normal rule, stay as long as it feels good. When your body knows it's time to come out, absolutely you're welcome to do so. If you're still upside down, take that last 2 or 3 breaths. When you're ready to come up, just a couple of breaths at the floating child pose, head dropping down. Beautiful. Rising back up. Clasp the hands behind your back. Hand shift over to the right hip, and then right ear drops down to right shoulder. So eases the shoulder and the neck. So take a couple of good breaths there. You can always tilt your head to slightly different angles if that gets the muscles that you need stretched. Good. Head back up. Hands over to the second hip. This would be hands to left hip and then left ear over left shoulder. And tilt and play with that angle until it's just right. Deep breath in and out. And then stepping both feet onto the fabric that's right under the thighs. Let the knees go wide and dive your arms past the front edge through the inside. Once you've got your arms here, duck the head down, clasp the hands behind the back of the head. And this will pull the neck down into a nice back of the neck stretch. A nice inhale. Exhale, we start to release that. Keep the left foot in, right foot drops down. We're gonna set up in a twist. So we'll eventually have right hand either on the inside grabbing around that left knee, or right hand wrapping around the fabric to grab all the way around. The other arm stretches to the back wall or circles around the head, your choice. Enjoying this for that slight outer hip stretch with the twist. Good, release, switch the legs out. Now it's gonna be left hand either on the inside wrapping around the knee or on the outside grabbing to the fabric. The other arm goes to the back wall or circles around the head. Good, unwind, both feet inside, straighten the legs out. Let's take a nice forward fold over those two straight legs. So note that because the hips are the heaviest point, the knees are naturally gonna bend a little bit. That's okay, that could be very helpful for our low back. If you're wanting the hamstring stretch to go deeper, your goal will be to try to straighten the legs out as much as they'll go. Again, listen to that low back though, because if we start to pull it too far, that could be not quite as helpful sometimes. So just listen to your body to find that exact placement that's great. A nice inhale, exhale. Inhale, we're sitting up. The fabric that's behind us, bring it up to do a nice, just one thin layer all the way wrapped around the shoulders, like a cap sleeve all the way around. Your elbows are shoving all the excess down to your waist, and then you're leaning back. So we do want to take all the excess down to the feet. So you'll step the feet in closer, lift up the hips, and then when you straighten out the legs, you should have enough fabric to have a little blanket over your shins. So let the fabric be like that, a little bit covering your shins. Okay. From there, we've got a safe amount over our shoulders, hands reach up, gather the back part of the fabric a little bit in your hands. And then feet come up inside of that blanket. The feet push outward into the spot that we just gathered with our hands. So it's not a heel wrap. It's that little notch after your heel that's pushing out into that gathered fabric. Use the push to help you rise upside down. Good. And if it doesn't feel like you're centered or it feels like you need a little bit more to help keep you safe, you can always readjust. But from here, the idea is step by step, we're doing this. First, try to see if you can balance with both feet touching together. So if that balance feels possible, that's okay. Yeah, see the worst thing that happens, you just flop on your back, it's all good. So then from here, try to see if you can balance with the hips going behind you as the toes start to drop in front of your chest. If you get to that spot, there's a point where the toes drop down into the fabric. So this, even right here, is really nice to hold. It's almost like a plow pose. So this could be a good spot to hang out. Otherwise, we can do flying vampire, extend outward into a plank upside down. So this is one you can hold about as long as your core is happy. The moment when you need to start heading back inside, you can either just practice hiking back up to that vampire pose, or you could roll all the way in and start back from the beginning. So it's kind of a good core workout. Just keep on playing with it. In, out, up and down, any of these variations that you'd like to play with for a little while. I love this one for the massage I get on my shoulders. That chance for your whole body weight to just be helping that massage happen. Good, we're discovering our core. I love it. Sometimes it takes a little while to try to figure out exactly the right placement. Keep on enjoying it. When you feel like you're ready to come out, you're welcome to bring your head back in for Shavasana, or you can come up to sit, either way. But if you're still upside down, don't feel a rush. You can still be here a bit longer. Good. So at this point, everybody's starting to head out. Take all the time you need for the recovery. This is your way to let me know how you're doing. So just keep on laying back as long as your body knows it needs more time. When you start to feel like you think you're okay, if you were to start moving on, you'll let me know by starting to sit back up. Beautiful. And if in sitting up, you still need a couple more breaths, don't feel any rush to come out. As we're heading out, you can either just, lift the hips up and forward to go up the normal way, or you can try the fun way, doing a tight grip with the hands on each side, and then legs go all the way up and backwards. Good work. I know, kind of fun, right? Okay, let's take the fabric under shoulder blades. We're walking back to take the slack out. And then let's take our feet under plumb line. So it seems like we would naturally go all the way to hips forward, but we're only going to feet under plumb line. So it's kind of right by the shadow line. If you see where it kind of cuts all the way across, it's right about there. I like to have nice wide feet. And so from here, what we're gonna do is huge hip circles, and we're gonna try to stick together. So we're gonna go to the direction of that front door and then all the way forward and around. So we're gonna try to stick together going that way. And here's 5, around all the way, good. 4, 3, 2, 1, and pause at the back for a moment. Let's switch directions going that way now. Here's 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Good. Pausing at the back. You can take a little back bend, just filling it backwards for a moment. Maybe a hand clasp pulling away from the glutes. Good. Support the head back up, gripping on. Let's walk backwards to stand. Fabric pops out in front of us. We're gonna grip on like a ballet bar. So gripping on and then sliding it wide to help us balance. From here, our right foot is going to kick up as high as we can to the side, and then we step back. So let's go for 5 with that right foot. Going for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Good. Switch out your legs. Preparing on that left and kick 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Good. Stepping a little bit wider than the mat. We're doing a nice plie. Turn the toes out and track the knees over the toes. Going down and up. Good. Follow your breath, exhales and inhales. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Turn the toes forward and allow yourself to slide the hands more close to the shoulder distance. And then just continue to ease forward. Nice stretch. Little wiggles feel helpful. You can play around with those. Otherwise, sometimes just the stillness is the best thing we can do. Good. Bending our knees, let's rise our way up. We can step the feet underneath us again. Let's take our right leg inside. From here, let's take a moment trying to balance. This will practice balance. We're gonna try to go for a nice shoulder stretch while we're balancing. If you ever need to just let go and grab, that's okay. Usually my little hint, if you're not too far behind plumb line, the balance is easier. So if I look up, I'm maybe like 3, 4, 5 inches behind, so not too far. So if balance is okay, right arm goes across our chest, left arm hugs in to pull it in for that nice shoulder stretch. Sometimes I'll even tilt my head over to the left. Watch your balance if you do that one though. Good, gently unwind. Good. It's a good challenge though. Go ahead and try for the second time. As we release, left hand grabs the right strand or pushes on the outside of the right strand. This right arm is going to do a rainbow, so it traces up and all the way back. And then up and forward. We're moving through that shoulder joint. So 2 more full rainbows. This last one will stay just a little bit longer. Good, return. You can either grab high to do splits forward, or you could just slide hands down, getting the heart closer to the thigh. And weight can come back. You can either step this foot out, step the other foot in, or swinging switch, keep the leg straight, and then step the other foot in, first one out. Good. You do that switch, make sure you didn't end up too far behind. We're gonna aim for the balance for a moment. Let's start with left arm trying to go across and then hug it in. Maybe head tilts over to the right if the balance is there. Good. Start to ease out of this side. And then second arm. Beautiful. Right hand either grabs left strand or pushes. Left arm goes up and back. Returning the same way. Repeating 2 more cycles. On that last one, stay just a little bit long. Beautiful. Return forward. Either slide down or slide the hands up to do splits. More inhale, exhale, and return. Stepping this foot out. We're gonna play with Vitruvian Man. This one I'm gonna face the same way as you, so do exactly what I'm doing. We'll try for the full thing. Know that this one is an intense massage right across the inner thigh. So if it's intense, you'll come backwards to come out. That'll put you into our normal straddle back inversion. So arms are behind. We're using the thumbs to help grab onto the fabric. It's just the normal way to get into straddle back. So fabric is coming right across the sacrum. So we're pushing it to keep it in that spot. One foot steps back so that we can bend our knees and lean our weight into the fabric to lock it in place. From there, 2 or 3 baby steps forward, bring us under plumb line. And simultaneously, hands up, knees wide, wrap the feet. Okay, keep the toes wrapped. From here, you have to reach your hands above where the feet are right now. Like a core move right there. Good. Keep on squeezing the knees into the inside. And then keep on walking up and use your leg strength to come into this wide straddle. If you're close to some people, you might have to like alternate practicing which side you're stretching out. Squeeze the knees to the inside. Squeeze knees together. Yep, just like that. And then keep on walking up. Use your leg strength. You got it. Yeah. So this is pretty intense. So if you need to come right out, come backwards. There is a flip way to come out if you want to copy with me. So this would be grip forward. And then just let the knees bend. You'll catch your knees together and then you're there. Yeah. That's it. Kind of fun, huh? You made it. Cool. So you're welcome to play around with that or just hang out with the straddle back inversion. Just kind of play around with whatever's fun. Sometimes it's fun to do like 3, 4, 5 flips in a row. Yeah. It's funny because you don't trust it, but it's like your legs know what to do just automatically. It's kind of fun. Me too. How do you get out of here? So you can, are you doing the flip or just going backwards? So going backwards way, you just bend your knees back and go backwards. Okay. Yep. Yep. And the flip way is a little bit different. Yeah. Ooh. Yeah, I know, it's kind of fun, right? You're still hanging, go ahead and enjoy it. If you're out before others, feel free to add some just gentle things here. So you could take the back bend, you could take the hip circles we were doing earlier. You could even do some shoulder stretches just by crossing an arm here and kind of playing with where the neck is. Using lots of good things. Good, and if you're still upside down, head for those last couple of breaths. Make sure your body's in balance though. So if you still need to do one more side of something, that's okay. Take all that time. When you're balanced, you're happy. At that point, you'll set your head out. Good. If those that just came out still need some more time, take some time. This is lots, you know, it takes a little while for our blood pressure to get back to normal. A good breath goes a long way. So from here, let's play with tree pose. Fabric is in front of us. We're stepping one foot, let's start with the right foot, into the middle of the fabric. We're going to try to do a slow, controlled rise up so it doesn't swing like crazy. If you don't use your core, you'll just be swinging the whole time. So instead, you're trying to use leg strength and arm strength to rise up as controlled as possible. Then your left leg needs to wrap around the fabric to come into tree pose. So it'll kind of start off at the knee area. When you get your left arm all the way forward and through, then you can start to slide that foot a little bit higher if you can easily reach it. Sometimes our pants are a little slidey, so that's okay if it just won't stay. But it's that left shoulder that needs to come forward to feel safe. Then you could even bring hands to the heart. So it is an intense massage on that foot. So if you need to come out and step down, you can always come out before others. Yep, just like that, you got it. Good. We can handle this just a couple more breaths. Let's try to breathe into that massage. A deep inhale, keep it slow. Good. A nice exhale. We're gonna start switching sides. So right hand grabs on. Left hand, as soon as you can grab on, as you bring that shoulder back, take that grip for safety. Once you've got that, the left leg unwinds and steps in the center. Then a right leg can do the wrap from the back side around. Good. Once you're there, it's gonna be, so right leg is wrapped, and now right shoulder needs to come through. Once the right shoulder's through, you can maybe slide the foot higher, bring hands to heart, that nice massage for the fascia. Notice some days this is way easier than other days. So again, if this is one of your days and you need to drop out sooner, that's okay. You can stand it for another 3 good breaths. Try to keep them slow. Good work. Left hand grabs on for safety. Right reaches as soon as it can, trying to bring that shoulder back. From here, both feet step for a moment. What we're going to try to do is grip on so that we can kind of lift our legs up for just a brief moment to come to a kneeling spot right on the fabric. We're basically dropping our shins down. You got it. Those feet can wiggle if they need to for a moment, that little bit of relief. And then from here, some people use this to do more of a back bend. Some people use this to do more of a quad stretch. So it really depends. They kind of happen simultaneously. But the idea is knees tilt forward and the heart arches back. You could go from the normal grip. You could also do a hugging grip if you don't want to go quite so far. So just hugging around your wrists. And the more the knees try to tilt down, the deeper that quad stretches at the same time. Good. Let's start to ease our way up. We'll take 2 or 3 good breaths, making sure our blood pressure is good again. Okay. The idea to come out is going to be kind of like the slowest motion, like a negative pull-up that you can do. So I like to practice negatives because negatives make it so eventually you can do the positive push-up. So the idea here is gripping on high. You're going to try to use the strength of your legs to rise you up to your arms and then try to lower down as slowly as you can. Good. Oh yeah, good work. Let's shake our feet, shake our hands. Good things happening. Yeah. I love it. Okay, so this has been a day of good massages all over. So we got that massage for the foot, we got our inner thigh earlier. This next one's one that I like to make sure that I set the fabric on my glute. Otherwise, it kind of becomes a massage for like a flossing for your butt crack. So just know that. I'm going to face the same way as you again, so you can just copy me. And what we're going to do, since the majority of class is this way, I'm going to have us facing this way when we go into it. So that means you two could choose to face toward me instead, but you'll have to change in your mind. Every time I say left, you'll be right. So it's up to you. You can either copy the same thing I'm doing or just listen and do the opposite. So either way, so coming up to stand, I'm gonna step my right foot in. It's gonna try to do that same slow, controlled one. I'm gonna stand, and then I'm facing for the back door. So I'm getting that right shoulder through and then gripping above my head. The left foot is gonna reach up high onto that fabric that's now in front of me. And then I'm pushing into it, and I'm gonna kind of like scoot my way down until I'm about at a 90-degree angle. And this is where I want the fabric to be on my glute instead of my butt crack. That'll help you a lot. Good. So I try not to lower than 90 degrees. Good. Keep on practicing until feet are together and your glutes are about that same level. Okay, so yours opened up a little bit. So, yeah, I like to try to keep my toes outward and kind of lock it. So. Okay, so the first thing we're gonna do is we're gonna have the top leg, so that left leg is dropping down to the left side. Now the chest has to go the other way. So chest goes to the mirror side off to the right. And then this the left arm reaches high. So you're re-gripping and it'll be just the left arm. Good, you got it. And then your free hand grabs your free toes. And you can lean back into a beautiful, like a dancer, quad stretch. Good. And let's make our way back up. Hands up, and then shoulders back in. And then we'll switch the feet out. So the right will free its way to come up on top. Sometimes here I'll take a moment to just kind of, like maybe I'll switch my glute by kind of hiking out and then lowering to the other glute. And I'll take a moment to kind of play with balance. Sometimes it's possible to completely let go of hands and just kind of let the arms go left and right, just balancing here. Good. And so if you're ready, let's try the second side, hands back on. So now right leg drops off the right side. And then we have to free our shoulders off that left side, but it's the right hand that grips on. So Free out the shoulder and then right hand grips on. Once you've got that grip, free hand to free toes and lean back. Awesome. Coming back inside. From here, I'm gonna shift it to a cross-legged sit. So one leg tucks in and then the other. And it's just another chance to try to balance when you get there. This one's a little harder, so you could put more pressure out to make it something to balance with. Good. Kind of fun. Beautiful. And then when you're ready to come out, just grab on, face whichever side feels like it'll free you out, and you can pop out. Good work. Let's roll our feet for a moment. Beautiful. And let's step our right foot inside. So we're gonna, once again, try to do a slow controlled rise. This one will end up with both bottoms of the feet together and both thighs kind of bending out like this on the outside. So a little hint that I'm noticing, if you're too far behind plumb line here, you're totally gonna swing just by lifting your foot up. So start off pretty much underneath, and then that slow controlled rise, both feet are together, the knees are open behind. And then just free out that one knee, you got it. So then both shoulders will need to pop forward. And this is our first stopping spot. So you don't have to go further than this if this is where you're happy with. If you're going to the inversion, I like to grip up high so my fingers won't get stuck. And then I'm gonna pass the fabric off of each hip bone. Makes it a little bit more comfortable when I'm down. And then you just lower all the way forward. Again, this is massage for the inner thighs, a little bit for the foot. One of my favorite inversions though, because it's like it's pressing my way open into toddler's pose just while I'm hanging. Grip up as high as you can reach. So push your hips back. Shift some of your weight back. And so notice how your toes went away from you. Keep your toes in. And your arm shakes, your eyes. Yep, that was good. You got it. If you're coming out, you guys that are in, stay in as long as you want. If you're coming out, give your head a break for a moment. And then what you do to come out, just straighten the legs and drop the feet down. And this one's a fun one though. So those that are upside down, keep on just enjoying it as long as it still feels good. You got it. So give your head a moment and then you're good. Just to be there. I'm with you, yeah. Yeah. I know, right? So honestly, our shoes are like make our foot stuck in one position for all day. Yeah. And it's not that healthy for them. So it's like getting these chances to like massage them and get that pressure. I love it too. Yeah. So while we're waiting for our last couple to just enjoy a little bit longer, let's take a couple of just fun little stretches here. So feet are about as wide as the mat, and we're back to being under that plumb line. So from here, head rests back in the hands. Now let's just bend the right knee, and we'll lean to the right. The elbows and everything just kind of shifts long that way. Good, straighten the right leg, and bending left knee, lean to the left. Good, and if you want a couple more of those back and forth, that's fine, or take a little back bend through the center. Good. Let's walk our feet back to come up to stand. And fabric out in front of us. Let's take a standing split. So fabric, it looks like a down dog is what the first part that we're getting into. Fabric goes right across the hip bones. From here, I'll take a step or two forward, and then I can arch and start to bend at the hips to come forward, dropping hands down. Several steps back, we'll take my hips back into plumb line. So from here, I'm gonna wrap my right leg around the fabric. I wanna go to the outside because that'll make it so I stay wrapped. So first I need to kick the right leg wide, and then when I bend the knee, I can catch the toes wide. Good. When you've caught it wide, you can start to straighten that right leg up. Yeah, try to keep the toes on the ground. Good. Got it. So if this is a challenge already, just stay, you don't have to go further. If you're wanting to go just a hair deeper, you would hop the foot forward and then even start to try to walk the hands close to that foot. It's basically walking closer and closer and closer to that standing split position. One more breath in. And exhale, if you hop the foot forward, slide it back. Bend the right knee, gentle release down. Good, left goes wide to catch wide. Once you've got it caught, maybe slide those toes up. Maybe the foot on the ground hops forward, it does not have to. Maybe the hands walk in just a hair. Good. Start to slide that foot back if you hopped forward. Bend the knee, drop down. A few of us may want to just be in hip hang. Otherwise, I'll guide others into one last shoulder stretch. So if you're going to for the shoulder stretch with me, to drop the feet out, walk forward until feet are flat on the ground, and then gently roll your head up. You're welcome to take a couple of breaths, just flip around, catch yourself as you're readjusting back to upright. Good, and if you need a little bit longer, don't feel any sense of rush. But what we're gonna do from here is essentially pretend like you're about to head into Shavasana. So come up to the front end, find the end of the fabric, wave it out so nothing's doubled over. And facing forward, you're gonna slide your elbows onto that front end. I like to get elbows at least 90-degree angle. You could go straight arms up and down, it's up to you. But what I like to do is play with a pec and a shoulder stretch. So I'll usually step my right foot forward and left foot back to start off. And then you just play with whatever way you need to put your weight to help you feel it. So sometimes I do that by leaning forward. Sometimes I do it by lowering the lunge. It's up to you to explore until you feel it. Good, we'll slide our feet together, bend the elbows in, and just let the head rock around left and right a couple of times. When you're ready for second side, left foot goes forward, right foot back. And again, keep on adjusting and moving until you feel the stretch. Another good inhale. Exhale, slide back. This time we'll take those 5 grips or so to get about half the fabric in our hands. And then coming back under plumb lines, slide the fabric under your glutes. Coming in toward that beautiful Shavasana. Expanded and stretched and massaged into all sorts of angles and directions and muscles. So now as we're in Shavasana, as the breath is starting to be the point of expansion, imagine that your intuition during this time is able to speak to you, and it's able to give you a metaphor for how you can expand through other areas of your life. Maybe this metaphor is given to you for a certain area of your body that's standing for something else. Maybe there's an insight you gained during class. Or maybe it's just very clear, very obvious exactly where that expansion needs to happen. So just keep on listening and breathing. We're here for several more minutes to just allow our body, mind, and our spirit to come together into this one unified moment now. Just keep it going with the breath. We'll begin to deepen our inhales. Our exhales. Introducing little movements back to fingers and toes. Ankles and wrists. Stretching it out like we're waking up first thing in the morning. Maybe letting shoulders wiggle right and left. Many of us want to do fetal position. Keep the body long, but tilt over onto one of your side bodies. So one hip is stacked on top of the other hip. And you're welcome to go back and forth between curling in like a tight little ball and then arcing the spine back. Maybe 3 or so times to one side and then 3 to the other. Making sure that the spine is in a good balance. You're happy there. You're welcome to head up toward a seated place. And hands together in front of the heart when we make it. Take this moment to connect back to our intention of expansion. What areas of our lives do we tend to just play small? And what emotions do we tend to bottle up? Is there any way this next couple of days we can kind of open that bottle and touch on some of the things that we've treated in such a small way? It's almost like imagine that every single emotion is a little kid. So what emotions have we treated horribly? Like the ideas of maybe shame. That poor kid just gets thrown across the room and shoved in a closet. So what if we embraced each and every one, gave them love and attention, and then they didn't need so much attention from us in our life? So with this kind of expansion and acceptance and love of all parts of who we are, and with this growth outward toward an amazing future, with all this to lead us on, let's wrap up the time we're about to share together today with the sound of Om. Deep inhale now. May we be filled with light and happiness and peace. Namaste.